So
Oh,
thank you. Whoever did that, thank you for recording this session. For those that cannot join us, the icebreaker question here is to either tell a fun fact or 1 to 3 fun fact or a personality about you and what committee you're with. So I'm supporting Sanita managing this process on Notion because we want to build a layout of how to manage projects. And so that's my role. Okay. And something about me is that I'm very talkative, and sometimes I can come on assertive, and sometimes I kind of cut people off, without really like knowing, just because I have so many things, going on, and so it's my ADHD personality, and I wanted to just share that with you. If I ever do anything like that, please love me and accept me. So that's about me. Thank you. Let's go to Yasmin. Rồi có bắt đầu ready, các chị ready vậy bé mà lấy cho cả lo được không? Sorry, I'm having a hard time working my iPhone here. Okay, so personality. I can be shitty dang at times, but most of the time, green share, I'm very calm. I am one that it's hard for me to say no, but I'm very just like I go, I go with the flow. So, so we, yeah, I go with the flow, whatever, it is, I just go with it. Right. And what committee are you with? Oh, I'm sorry. I am with the decor, yeah, Sanita's committee. Oh, okay. I think that's from Sanita. I think it's from Sanita. I think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sanita, are you okay? Sanita, are you okay?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know what the issue is today with me. Please go on.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to Ku.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ku, and I am on the Decor and Food Committee and also the Sponsorship Committee. 1 to 3 facts about myself. I don't know. I think I want to say I'm kind of boring. boring. But I think I don't know, you guys shared a little bit more of your characteristics or how you are, but maybe I will just share that I enjoy photography. I have 1 daughter and I live or make my home in North Branch, Minnesota. So
Oh, thank you. Sanita, are you okay to lead or do you need support? Tell us one thing about your personality and what committee are you in? Let's go to Marcy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcy, and I am helping with the registration, checkout, and guest experience committee. personality characteristic wise, I'm pretty transparent, share what's on my mind. But I also show some empathy according to Mindy. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. All right, Sanita, I will so I will support for now until you are able to fully take over, okay? Next we'll go to Selena.
Hi everyone, my name is Selena. I am something about my personality. I would say that I'm a pretty calm, organized, and patient person. I like to have structure, and I'm friendly too. So it's really about my characteristics and personality. And I'm a part of the logistics and silent auction committee. And then do I have to popcorn to somebody?
Sure.
Yasmin? I don't know if Yasmin has gone yet.
She did.
Oh, okay. Sue?
Sue, you
Hi.
okay?
Yep, I'm here. So I'm Sue. I live in Minnesota. I was a mentor. That's how I continued as I loved the mission, the vision, and so I stayed as a founding member, and I'm one of the board members. I'm also helping with just sort of anything that really needs help with mentor, like the mentor, and so forth. I'm also part of the auction and logistics committee. And then the other part was our personality, right? I'm very motivated and driven, so I'm just the kind of person that if I want to do something, I just do it. Sometimes I don't even think, I just do it, and then at the end, come out that, oh shoot, what did I do? But then that's just me. That's just my character. I just love to do stuff. So I think that's about it, right? That's what we were sharing. Okay. Let's see who else hasn't gone. I see Sia. Sia, have you gone?
Not yet.
I don't know if Sia didn't know. We were sharing about ourselves and then just some personality or attitude or something like that.
Oh, Sia's busy, so we'll go to Lily. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. Nhớ cho sợ là lúc bây giờ lì meka, right? But lúc bây không nhớ vui tuổi lì. I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and you know, I'm a pretty easygoing kind of person. You know, I get along good with everyone. And then you know, nici tău cu Jean Bolicalo is because like I grew up the fakite, and then chỉ hay lùm hông mang so my English is broken, my home is broken, so sometimes you know, nici tău cu lo kachi hay có I repeat one more, you know. And then I'm with the entertainment committee.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's go to Lily.
What was that? Oh, what was that?
We have a Lily too.
Oh,
So you are Lily, and you have a Lily.
oh yeah.
Hi guys. I'm Lily Mua. I know there's a Lily Wu on here too. Well, not on here, but on the team. I am from Minnesota, but I'm actually in Colorado right now. So anyways, let's see. I am a mentor and I just joined in November. So I'm fairly new to this organization, but I really enjoy mentoring. And so I'm glad to be a part of this organization. I am a part of the sponsorship and PR committee as the lead, and I have a really great team. So I'm really happy to be a part of the sponsorship committee. Let's see, personality wise, let's see, if you know the DISC, I am a D on the DISC, personality DISC. And so that means that I'm pretty driven. I think one thing about me is I'm pretty honest, and I drive through my integrity. So if you don't want my opinion, then you should not invite me to anything, because I will be pretty direct and pretty honest about my thoughts. And also, I'm pretty curious as a person. And so I do ask a lot of questions. And so hopefully, those of you who have worked with me or who have crossed me, don't perceive that as anything negative. That's just my personality, just being curious and making sure that I ask or think about things that haven't been thought about. So that's me.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have is there anybody else? Did we miss anybody?
There's someone by the name Sue, SUE.
That's just me. I had to log in twice because sorry, I'm having laptop issues.
Okay, all
You
good,
and me
all good.
both. Okay,
All right.
so we have everybody, y'all.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, perfect. So hello everyone. Joshua, Malone, should I talk on banquet meeting? I just a little bit about our agenda today. We will be hearing about all the subcommittees and what they've been working on for this event, along with creating our budget proposal. So hopefully we can kind of give an idea, submit that to the board, and so that we can get an approval for money we can use for the banquet. And then also I want to just kind of talk about a group agreement, just sharing about a goal, because just kind of sharing what the purpose of a banquet no. So I know that but I just want to touch base on that again. So our number one priority goal for Banquet, that is coming up, we want to raise $20,000. That is our number one priority goal. And then we also want to plant seeds to empower the community, to celebrate power of collaboration, community, and collective contribution. So we all know, that we have recently established our organization, and we acknowledge that our current support base may still be in its initial stage of growth. But we want to view this banquet fundraiser not only as an opportunity to raise funds, but also as a platform to introduce our organization to others. We envision that this event is in a journey where we can all work together and achieve a common goal. By doing this, we hope to create a sense of togetherness and teamwork, and we hope that planning and executing this event will teach us valuable lessons about working together and solving problems as a group. Because for me, I know that this is all volunteer work, so I'm in it for, kusapa, I want to pick a share a lot here, share the and also to have that collaboration. And so we want to do it again, and we have a good experience. And so we want to talk about, brainstorm some group agreements to share and to have as follow while we do this. Annie had put down some things. Annie, can you go ahead and take the lead on bullets, for group agreement there?
Yeah, so I think that it's important to have group agreements to set a container, or just to create a psychological safety for all of us to be able to really show up, fully and authentically. And so we think that, based on my own experience and from my experience collaborating with people, some of the things that are very important that makes me feel safe to be around and wanted to give my all is that, I feel trusted and respected, right? And so we think that this is a value that is important to have in place whenever we collaborate together. I also know that whenever we work with people, because we have different experience in life, we have different ways of doing things, we will run into frictions, right? And I think that it's important to allow frictions to show up and be okay with it and not get scared and run away. A lot of time I see people come together, they are excited, they want to do something together, but when conflict arises or a different perspective arises, people don't know how to communicate, so they get scared because they're afraid of not being liked because they have a different opinion, or if they see something is getting heated, they get scared. They're like, I don't want to be a part of this. This is drama, and they run away. And it's important that we recognize this kind of what could go wrong and be okay with it. It's just friction that shows up. It is through those frictions that we learn to see each other and respect and value, but we must be okay to allow frictions to show up. That's the number 2 that we ask, that we learn to just practice or allow it to be there. Another one, when I think about how sometimes we start to feel like we are not being heard and understood, or sometimes we feel like we're not being respected, it's usually because we have different view. That's it, right? There's a lack of information. And so if we want to be able to work together, it's important that we always assume the best intent with each other and have a generous view of each other. We're all here because we care. We're willing to contribute. That's why we're here. We're not here trying to compete or get something out of it, because there's nothing here but the experience itself, right? And so we ask that we do our best whenever something comes up and we notice that it's triggering, right, or it's making you feel like you're not being heard, not being trusted or respected, that we don't assume the worst, and that we assume the best intent, and then it leads to the next one, which is ask questions, have conversation. And so these are some of the things that we think if we practice, it will create a more pleasant collaboration experience for all of us. And so these are the 4 that I can think of. I would like to also open it up to the floor to see what else do you think is important for us to include on this agreement, so that we all know how to honor one another, and so think of how would you like to be honored, treated, supported, so that you would have fun and get excited and want to give your all.
One agreement that I would like is for this to be a safe space. I want us to be able to turn on each other every time we get we hit something hard, or if we're feeling stressed, or if we're feeling like we're not productive. I want us to be able to share and turn on each other so that we can have each other's respect, love, and support.
Okay. Let's go with everybody. I see Selena. Selena, based on the list that we have here, is there any one of this that you don't agree with, or you feel like you need more clarification on, or is there anything else that you would like us to add to this list so that it will support you, inspire you, makes you feel safe to bring your contribution here?
Yeah, I think this list looks good so far. I think it's a strong list. I guess something that I'm thinking about adding is showing up authentically. So for all of us to show up authentically and not from a non-judgmental way. And I think that for us to create that space, like, it will allow others to be authentic as well too, and people will be able to see that we're all here for a common goal, and we all want to work together towards this common goal and purpose.
Wonderful, thank you. Sue, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I think I agree with these. Yeah, I'm good.
Lily, Noah?
No, like I say, everything here looks good. And like I say, as long as we have a good, clear communication, then everything should be pretty smooth.
Thank you, Lee. So we have you, and we also had Lily Moore, okay? So we had Lily and then Lily Moore.
Maybe we can just use my normal like Coach Lee chứ còn nếu
Oh, Coach Lee. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
because
Okay, Coach Lee.
我自己卡把它管 coach boxing, kickboxing, so it's easier.
Yeah, Coach Lee.
That sounds good.
That,
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't
wanted
mean
to
nothing though, right? I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but yeah, hi Coach Lee, chỉ nên cái bóng kia.
Yeah. I would like to add a letter G. I think it's important for everybody to give themselves some grace, because everyone is volunteering. It's important to know that you are giving your all, right? And you're showing up. And so that is number one, like the most important piece. And so don't feel like, just like showing up and doing your work is not enough, right? And then finally, I want to just add that I think it's also really important that it's okay to challenge people. It's okay to question something or to challenge someone's ideas or opinions, and that's just a part of being human and also progress, right? Or whether that is just a different perspective. I think those things help make a group or an idea stronger, and don't be afraid to speak out or to challenge or to ask a question. That's all.
Thank you. They're awesome. Let's see, who else do I so are you able to share?
Sorry, I was trying to text you guys. Yeah, I don't have any issue with the rules. Those are very good values and that to know. I think one thing I agree that we just have to know how to respect everybody's opinion and take it, and and just support each other.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool.
I think that's a pretty good list. I think a lot of the things that I'm thinking of kind of fall under those things. So I think we're really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so for me, I wanted to add one more thing, because the way that we collaborate, we do a lot of chatting and typing, and sometimes like sometimes I don't have time to like elaborate, to fancy it, right? So I just go like really like assertive about it, and if it ever comes on like I'm controlling or like I'm being rude to you or whatever, I want to remind all of us, right? And even me too, sometimes when I read someone's comments, sometimes my eyes start rolling, and I have to check myself and say best intent, right? What is the best intent here? Like, it's impossible that this person would really trying to like make me feel bad, right? And so I would reach out and call or do a conversation. And so I just want us to like be mindful of that, right? Because we use a lot of chat and we type, we don't always talk, and so I just wanted to throw that out there. Anita?
Okay, good. Okay,
Sorry.
sounds good. So if
Can I add one more?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it's a separate one. Like it kind of blends in with that because we're using Messenger. I think some of the messages that have been in there come from good intent. We're sharing ideas and stuff, and then sometimes there's a lot of emojis. So like you might have a heart, you might have a thumbs up that says, "Yep, I see you." You might not have anything to say, but yeah, you see that they all see you, but you might feel like a little discouraged and stuff. And I'm not asking for people to do anything, but just know that we read and we acknowledge the opinions and the questions and stuff, and maybe just communication with the intent. If you have a wondering, if they feel like might be some tension or something, could just kind of ask in a different sense. But just know that people have read the messages and maybe they haven't gotten back, or be quick enough to give a thumbs up or a heart or something like that. But my heart and my thumbs up is kind of the same thing. Like, yep, I see you, and I see your message and stuff, and that's important.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. So if you guys think of anything else that you want to add to this group agreement, just feel free to come and update it or put it in the group chat and we can update it later. But thank you for that. I know that we don't have much time, so I'm just gonna move right along for our agenda. For our next bullet point is celebration and gratitude. I want to recognize, express my appreciation to all of the subcommittees for your efforts in getting things started and holding your meetings with Nepal team and a plan. So I'm very happy, and I want to tell you guys that I appreciate you. I know I see your hard work. I also want to shout out to the sponsorship team committee. That you guys got the save the date flyer out. It looks great, and the event is out. And I also looked at your sponsorship list where you guys are going to be contacting getting to see if they can sponsor us. I see that's a lot there. That's a lot of hard work, and so I want to recognize you for that. Also, thank you, Marcy, for getting us the agreement at Unison, and even going in a second time to take a look and I didn't even think about that. I didn't even ask you, and you went ahead and did that. So I appreciate you for that. And thank you, Annie, for always being there to support all of us. I appreciate you a lot, no matter how busy you are. If I just say, hey, Annie, can I talk real quick? You're always there. So I appreciate you. Does anybody want to celebrate, recognize anybody? I'll open it up for you guys. No? Okay. All right,
Shout out to my team. So Ku and Jane, because last week I was out, and Ku did a lot of work and responding to questions or comments. So thanks, Ku. And our team has been working really hard. So I really appreciate all the hard work.
Thank you, everyone. Awesome.
I just want to appreciate oh, sorry, I was going to say, I just wanted to appreciate Sue too for just taking the lead on the committee for the logistics and auction. I know that we're all kind of like beginners in our group, so, and we're all still learning from each other, but I just really appreciate Sue for offering to help and trying your best to lead the team. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. So awesome. So for Beidu keynote speaker, Annie reached out to Bao Vang, and she is available to meet with us. Is that right, Annie? Is it next week, Wednesday and Thursday are her available time that she is available for a Zoom meeting. So I would like as many of us to join as possible to just kind of show her to introduce to her who we are. So if anybody has a preference, which day works better, I know that you guys are all meeting separately too. So which about the new Wednesday and Thursday, who's free and who's not?
Yeah, so Bao say that day is her daughter's birthday, and usually they plan something. And so she said it depends on when we meet her. She will try to see if it will work out with her. So that being said, we just need to know that she also have planned for that day. Once we talk to her via Zoom, if it doesn't work out with her, then we will go with our next person. And from our last discussions, and the next person on my list, I don't know if it's on your list, so I want all of us to agree who's going to be the next person to reach out to. So that person was okay. And so if you feel like you would like to consider other people, then after we will go down the list to reach out to them. And I feel like having a Zoom meeting is for all of us to meet them and build that connection, even if it doesn't fall through. And it's just so much better. Plus, we're gonna try to see we're trying to inspire her to like contribute or donate her time, right? But if she comes in with a fee, then we will have to think about it and then discuss on that. So that's why I feel like that Zoom meeting would be more personable. Any suggestion? Or if you feel like, oh, this is good, let's proceed, let us know when, and we will come if we can. Then I will take over from there.
I got a question.
Mhm.
What kind of requirement the key speaker needs to be? I mean, patane tua peli nausu, but I know that I just hear the name, like what kind of background they need to be here. I know they gotta be some kind of experience, they gotta be well established, but your idea pizza, we have an idea pizza. The 2 person you couldn't get in to come speak, what kind of like background or experiences that person needs to be to come to be a key speaker, Maya.
Yeah, we talked about this at one of the meetings in the past about what kind of speaker we want. And I remember we say we want someone who appreciates and share like values, similar values that we do, which is that international connection, right? Bridging community beyond borders, mentorship, a nonprofit, right? People collaborating together. Bao has an extensive experience in the nonprofit field. She's also very much into empowering community, empowering young leaders, mentorship. And so Lily was the one that suggested Bao. And so we feel that, in a way, she's way up here for us. But we also want her to know the kind of work that we do. And that's why we reach out to her. So the kind of people that we want are people who appreciates mentorship, who believes in role modeling, leading, and training the next generation to do better.
Okay, yeah, obviously I missed that, so I didn't know, but thank you.
And then I think that last time we talked about having Gajogong Paul be through a second person. So if Bao is not able to, then let's go ahead and reach out to Gajua. And if anybody has another referral, jot it down in the chat and we can go from there. Is that okay?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. And then I'm open on Wednesday or Thursday, Annie. So I can join you whichever day.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Perfect. So yes, I want everybody to, your subcommittees to just kind of report, let us know your progress, share with us any challenges, so that we can just get an update on how you're doing. And then we'll save, is it okay if we share, we will do the question, and if you have any questions, then after we can talk about it. I know that we're on a time crunch, so let's try to try to get everything important out, and we'll go from there. So Sue?
Yeah, so the Auction Logistics Committee, we met last week for the first time. So that's Elizabeth, Selena, and Annie. And so there was some past information from Annie that we reviewed. And so right now we have 3 confirmed donors, and I've connected with all 3 of them. And then Selena's going to be helping to put together the Google form to collect your donor information here. There's a list of past donors that she's going to help reach out to solicit Shelapu interested to donate a auction. Elizabeth was meeting to figure out how to conduct a silent auction. And then she's also going to help send thank you letters and in a text document to donors. Marcy did share some brainstorming with me, but gusto mo for mucho Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, I do have to email that to you since you're not on Messenger right now. So mamo for to call via email. And then I'm working to get the cost for banners and promotional materials. So the only place I've checked so far is Vistaprint. So yung any other suggestions, let me know. I believe, Elizabeth, you mentioned that you had printed banners in the past. And I can look for it. I can look and see what would be more cost effective. But I don't know if, Elizabeth, if you have any updates that you want to share in regards to a meeting about how to conduct silent auctions. And I think, was Elizabeth on? I thought she was.
No, she's not.
Oh, okay. Then I just somehow I thought I heard her voice, but it must not been her. So we're meeting next week too. We were supposed to meet yesterday, but our schedules just were conflicted. So next week, Beijing Jike, I'll be able to get more updates from her as well. And then we can proceed from there. And then I know I did see Selena's, or I did hear Selena as well too. Selena, did you have any other updates that you wanted to share as well?
I don't have too many updates. Although the only update I have is the interest form or the Google form is ready. So if we want to start distributing it, it is ready. Otherwise, I'm working on the names and then just getting the email out soon this week to the previous donors.
Okay, thanks, Selena. If you need help, please let me know. I know that it could be quite a bit to go through too. So if you need help, just let me know. And then so we did also touch base on like just the agenda program suggestion, because I know the last time that we connected, the core group had asked about like, hey, what's our agenda going to be? And so we just sketched something really quick together because we need to collaborate as a core team on Hypeaka program. Agenda, so I do have it listed here. And then as a team, I think we need to collaborate on this. And then Anita, as the chair too, we need to get your insights on like what time we're going to have check-in. Like we're doing 5 to 11. So if doors open at 4, is that going to be enough time for check-in, or do we need to open doors earlier than that? We're thinking, we're going to have an opening speech, possibly a video presentation. More dinner, is that going to be buffet style? And then I know there was like a dance performance or something like that. And then we have our programs and then entertainment. So again, this is just a suggestion, but as a team, we just need to collaborate and decide like kind of what we want to do. And
I will
it.
join.
Yeah.
I will join your meeting next week, and we can look at this together more, and we can connect with the entertainment team too to see what they have for the agenda.
Okay. Okay. Or I think I put it in our group chat, so you should.
No, I think I have it.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like logistic and silent auction should have separate meeting. Yeah, why don't we like talk about silent auction? It got solidified, bring clarity. It's about who's doing what. When that is done, then we can like focus on logistic. That way they don't get mixed up.
Yeah, I'm fine either way. I just, for everyone's schedule and purpose, I just want to make sure that we can utilize our time as best. But I'm fine either way. I just want to make sure that we're mindful because based on the schedule, yeah, but thanks, Annie, for your suggestion. I'm fine either way. And as far as the budget goes, the next piece down there, I'm still doing some research too, so that's to be determined at this time.
Do you have an estimate time of how long? Because I want to be able to get this proposal out.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get something for our meeting next week. So by next week, hopefully I'll have some quotes and stuff.
Okay.
And a better idea. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's it for our committee.
Sounds good. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Oh, and then I guess we could put down for dinner. It is going to be buffet style. We can answer that right away, and then yeah, sounds good. Gumali join go, and then we can look at this together, and that will work. Sponsorship team and Lily.
Yes. I'm gonna. All right. So the sponsorship and PR committee, we have been having a few meetings, and we met yesterday as well, to just kind of discuss some I think key definitions. I think one thing that I wanted to just bring up is basically the definition between sponsorship, right, versus a donation. I think that could be an area that's a little bit confusing. And I know that we had, in our subcommittees, right? Like we have the donation on the auction side, right? And then we also have we were thinking like donation on the sponsorship side. So I wanted to provide some clarity on that. So sponsorship, right now we have divided the sponsorship into like 4 main categories, which falls into like platinum, gold, silver, bronze sponsorship categories. And then we also have room for like donation. So I think the one thing I wanted to just kind of highlight is that for sponsorship, obviously we want organizations and people to sponsor tables. But then if people don't want to or don't fit or align with the organization's mission, right? Because I know from doing nonprofit work that, if like a small business or a private business doesn't align with the mission and goals of an organization, they may not want to sponsor, or it might not align with their bottom line. And so in those cases, of course, they can also personally donate, right? Or if they don't plan to attend the event, or the amount falls under one of our sponsorship categories, then they can also donate funds. And so I wanted to just kind of define that so that there's no misunderstanding. And that was something that I wanted to just highlight. So I'm not sure if anybody has any questions about that. If not, then I will move over and I'll have Ku bring up our sponsorship page so that you guys can kind of see what the sales page look like if you haven't already looked at it. So right now, so right now what we're doing is we're putting sponsors on this spreadsheet. And I think one thing I wanted to share here is that I think it's really important for us to all be kind of on the same page. Like I think, Sue, I think you created like a new auction tab too, right? On here, like for donations and stuff.
Yep,
Is that
there's
right?
one.
Yeah, I think one thing that, I was, like our committee was thinking too, is that for this event, because it's one event, it's probably going to be really important for us to be consistent and to stay aligned with one another so that, there's only like one point of contact for each organization or business or whatever that we're reaching out to. So I think it's really important for us to somehow make sure that we assign, like if someone is reaching out to, let's say like Moe's Tropical, right? Or something, right? Because they're a business, that there's one point of contact so that on the sponsorship side, like we're not, reaching out to somebody and then on, whether it's auction or whether it's food or whatever, we're not also reaching out to them like multiple times, right? Even though we're just one organization and one fundraising committee. So I feel like in a way it might make the most sense. We were discussing this yesterday. I had shared that, because this is a fundraiser banquet, I think it's really important that we focus on the fundraising aspect first. And I think that where we can get the most money is to start from the top tier sponsorship, right? Like if we're reaching out to a business, to start with sponsorship, and then if they're not aligned or they're not willing to sponsor, then we work towards like donation. That way we get the most bang for our buck talking to a business or an individual before we move on to like the auction items, because I think those are also important, but I kind of feel like it's secondary, because if we can get as many people to sponsor or to provide that financial support up front, then we know that we're we already are meeting our target or not, right? So on the auction end, I think that's important too. But of course, like I think that just in terms of like financial gain, right? Like I think we can gain the most from trying to obtain sponsorship and donations in terms of cash, so that we have we already know in advance that that's how much we're going to make prior to the event. And so if we can somehow, I would love to open that up to see if there's anybody who has any conflict. My thinking and my team's thinking is that if we can make sure that we track everybody on like one list, we can rename this, it could be like potential sponsors and donors or something, and consolidate the list, so that we can just identify it by categories and identify like who's reaching out or who's talking to that person already or that business already. That way there are no overlaps, and so that we come out more professional as well as more organized in that manner. So that's just what I'm thinking in terms of that. Wanted to see if anybody has any thoughts about that.
Lily, can I just chime in really quick?
Sure.
And one important thing too that we had talked about in our group is the need for a certain process to be established so that we one, don't have that duplication, and then two, I'm going to give a prime example of this is that I'm a part of two different subcommittees, right? And T's committee of food, and we had talked a little bit about this. Like we gave the prime example of most tropical food. We're thinking about having fresh fruits during that time, right? And it would be really great that most like maybe donated a box of oranges or something like that, right? But if on the sponsorship side, we're thinking about asking Mo's too. We would rather see Mo donate maybe money before a box of oranges, right? And so I think that's where that need for like a more fluid communication across the board, so that the asks are not duplicated, and also then, like Lily said, it's the best thing for our buck. We're not sounding like kind of a broken record when when we're asking for things, right? We're kind of in response to each other in terms of, okay, I know I'm on the sponsorship team, but I also know that T is going to ask for some donations in terms of putting up decorations. And so I'm not going to go ask the same vendor that has volunteered for her piece already, so it becomes a little bit easier to manage as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for bringing that example and clarifying. And then, so does anybody else have any thoughts about this?
So, hey, this is Sue. I actually would prefer to keep it separate and then just work really closely with whoever is in charge of the donations, just because ours are going to be very specific, and then we have past auction auction business that we're going to be reaching out to. So I actually need to transfer that list over so you guys could have visibility to it. So most of our businesses are like photography professionals. Sorry, I can't even speak right there.
Oh, okay.
Or spa packages, eyebrow tattoos, like those are the type of businesses that we're going to be reaching out to. So we do have that list, and I can transfer it over. So but when you guys said Mo Tropical, I didn't even think about reaching out to her to say, hey, go look at your fruit auction, because we do want some mangosteen. So I was like, oh no, but she wasn't on our list anyways. But yeah, I think if we could have if you guys have visibility, that might help. But then I would prefer to keep it separate, just so that way we can collaborate and work closely together, but then we keep it separate just to prevent any confusion.
Yeah, I just think that it's important for us to know, like, if in case we're crossing over. So we would have to, like, everybody would have to cross-check very closely, so that we don't, like, I mean, I think it's okay to ask for multiple things, right, from a business, but just to make sure that, you know, we don't have multiple people trying to reach out for multiple things. So that would need to be closely coordinated. Yeah,
I think
so as long as
one more thing to add to that too is that the different tiers for our VIP tables, there are some baskets that we'll be giving out to them as like a high like sponsor or whatever, and they're valid at a certain price. And like what we talked about as a team too is that if we can eliminate the idea of it coming out of our own budget to purchase items to put in those basket of goods. Like, for example, if we can say we have 5 top tier sponsors and we want to provide $100 valued baskets to them, we could actually then go specifically and ask a vendor, let's just say a nail salon, right? That says, you know, we can ask them and say like, oh, can you provide us like 4 different nail kits to include in our baskets? And so I think too, just coordinating that and making sure that our raffle asks are not like interfering with the silent auction items too. So yeah, just working very closely with that would be very important.
I agree. Yeah, and then I think the other thing that I wanted to note, so if you can go back to the sponsorship tab, something that I think it's really important to note that like I think our sponsorship committee is going to work very hard to try to reach out to as many people as we can, like even on this list that we've kind of brainstormed. One thing we can use some support on is for the rest of the group as well as the other mentors too. We think it's going to be we'll be able to reach our goal, our fundraising goal faster if we all come together and add to this list. And so if possible, it would be great for everyone to take a look at this list. And, you know, if you know anybody that we've already identified on here personally or professionally, or if you know of other businesses, you know, locally in your own state or in Minnesota or wherever, that you think would be willing to sponsor potentially, it would be great for us to grow this list. And of course, like, you know, add your name or grow the list and hopefully somebody will add their name to it. It'd be great if we can all collaborate on this and get the list together by like next Monday. I think because the event is coming up really fast, it's going to be really important for us to all work together to reach out to as many people as possible because yeah, I think $20,000 is not that far away, but then it's going to take a whole village, like our whole team, in order to reach that goal. Right now for our subcommittee group, our target is for the 3 of us is to obtain 10 sponsors, and so that's our target for the 3 of us. And so ideally, I would love to have, you know, everybody on here at least find 1 additional sponsor, and especially even like the leadership team and the founders of the program here, the nonprofit here. I would love for everyone to at least contribute 1 or more sponsors to this list, and also reach out to those people and obtain that sponsorship, because the more sponsors we can get, I think that the easier it will be for us to reach our goal. And so I would love for everybody to reach in and lean into each other, as well as reach out to those that you know, in order to have us reach our goal. And I think if we can reach our $20,000 goal through sponsorship, then everything else is just like easy, right? But I think that's really important for us, especially if this is a fundraiser banquet, to try to maximize and reach as many people as possible. And so it would be great for us to, again, get this list up to date by March 31st, March 11th. And then I think after that, if you add your name to any of the individual or businesses that are identified on this list, it's going to take us all to reach out to the individuals, hopefully by March 20th. That would be ideal. I think that if we can get some or all sponsors confirmed by March 31st, that will give us a lot of leeway so that we kind of know where we are by the end of this month. So we know how much harder we have to work in April to obtain the different financial targets that we're looking to achieve. And so I wanted to share that with you all. We do have, and we've created a sponsorship letter. And so basically, if you reach out to the sponsor, the sooner, the better. And we have a letter that we've already drafted. I think it's important for us to, when you reach out, let them know like who you are and, what the nonprofit is and what we're trying to achieve, right? And it's all in the letter. And then obtain their contact information, their email, if you don't know their email, their phone number, having that information, and then sharing this letter with them. When we look at this letter, all the details are already on there. It'll lead them directly to the sales page if they want to sponsor. And if they want to sponsor, then they can go there. They can also watch our video on there about the organization and sponsor directly. Virtually, or if they want to like write a check, then there's detail on here too on where to submit their check and who to pay it out to. So I feel like this is a good talking point that you can use as you reach out to sponsors, and then like email this out to them, or if you're meeting with them in person, then you can drop by and give it to them. I think it's really important that for the success of this organization, that we build those relationships. And so we use who we know and we continue to harness the relationships that we are going to be building with them now and into the future. And so it's really important for us to do as much as we can to connect with them and share information. And even if they don't choose to sponsor, provide them with other options, right? Like they can donate funds to the nonprofit, or they can donate or auction items or whatnot, like whatever items that they can help, or if nothing at all, for them to attend and buy a ticket. I think that's also very important. If they don't know and don't trust the organization yet, for them to invite them to come to the event, so that they can see what the nonprofit is all about, because we always want to build more friends and allies, and so the more that we can get people to come, I think the better for the nonprofit. And so that is my ask for everybody, is to help and support with this so that we can reach our $20,000 goal. Obviously, we're only 2 months away. And so it's going to require all of us to work together to get as many sponsors as possible. And then, of course, to also sell tickets, right? So tickets doesn't fall under our committee, but I think that that's a responsibility of everybody else. And so I think that if we can start with sponsorship and try to get as many people to sponsor first, and then try to move our way towards tickets last individually, that will be ideal. And if we can also make sure that we update status onto that spreadsheet, that will be ideal as well. So if you are reaching out to somebody, put your name down. And if you've already reached out to them, you're waiting to hear back from them, put your status on there that you reached out to them, you're waiting to hear back, you'll confirm. If they're willing to sponsor, and you get a verbal, or they respond to your email or whatever, if you can make sure you update the status, that would be great. That way we all kind of know, and can be watching out for what kind of sponsorships are going to be coming in, or how much more work we all have to work on. Okay. Any questions? Or Ku, do you have anything else to add?
I think I just want to add the fact that as we're inputting things into the spreadsheet, you know, I guess, like Lily said, we're kind of hoping that everybody kind of puts their part into there. This was our list that we generated, brainstorm on our own, but if there is individuals or people that you feel you have a better connection to and you have a feeling that they would be more enticed to donate or sponsor a particular table or whatever, that you put that on the list, but double check to make sure that it's not already listed, so we don't have duplication on that. And then, yeah, there is this, a couple tiers in the end here before the notes that if you know, you add that in and you have a confirmation donation, what it is or what the amount is valued at. We envision kind of if it's not something donated that we can utilize for the baskets that we'll give to our top tier sponsorship tables, we'll pass that along to the auction team and allow them to kind of take over and you know, kind of lead that piece for it. But yeah, that is kind of where we sit. And I think it's very important for all of us to kind of be on the same page, especially if there is an ask of a vendor, but it's not really to sponsor. Maybe it's like a service or a product or whatever, that's really communicated. So we are on the same page across the board. And that is it. And I felt like Vanna White for a second there when Lily was talking. And I was pointing things out.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Any comments or questions?
I have two questions. I might have missed this, but has a sponsorship, like getting that out, has it been shared on with the other mentors as well?
I don't think the details. I know that the sales page, I'm not sure if that went out to the mentors, but definitely that was something that I think at the last meeting didn't get to, right, Annie? Because I think you were out. And so that hasn't been communicated yet. But we wanted to make sure that we communicated tonight to everybody here first, so that, you know, everyone knows kind of what to do and how to do it. And so that was our first priority. I think that what we'll do is we'll go on a Zoom and go live for all the others. This way, people can see and know what to do as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My second question is on that sponsorship tab where it says amount donated. I think it was shared that it said we will put the donation amount or once it's been confirmed and stuff. Are you referring to the planning committee members or do the sponsorship subcommittee only want to touch it just because there might be a lot of fingers on that page with the dollar amount? Do you want us to like tell you like, yep, this Mo is sponsoring like $500 and then you guys go put it in, or do you want the planning team to do it or your subcommittee?
No.
Just
yeah. I think whoever is communicating with that person should put it in, because what happens is if they're going to be submitting like sponsorship online, right? My guess is most people will probably do it online. Then we'll be able to track it physically already. And so until we actually receive the money, we're not gonna, you know, call it as already a sponsorship, right? But this is just going to be a projected sponsorship amount. And so I think whoever is communicating with that sponsor, and if they're willing to, you know, tell you right away that they want to sponsor at the bronze level or whatever level, that you can identify that just as a placeholder so we can estimate. So this tab here is really just an estimated or, you know, potential sponsor list, right? It's not necessarily the confirmed sponsorship list.
I think too, the importance in the follow-up and conversation too is that we understand that we're also asking everybody to kind of input someone into the list here, depending on who they're comfortable with approaching. And so we ourselves as the sponsorship team may not have direct relationships with those particular individuals. And so I think it can get a little bit disconnected, especially when let's just say you get a commitment and then now the sponsorship team has to go in and be like, okay, what was your commitment and how much are you liking to donate or whatever, or what tier and stuff like that. That follow-up kind of becomes a little bit disconnected. And so I think maybe if you're kind of that first initial person to connect with that person and you're putting that into the spreadsheet to full on complete it all the way through and kind of follow up and be like, hey, are you still thinking about sponsoring? And then confirming it. And when it's confirmed, putting in, yes, it's confirmed, we have that amount, and then following through with that process.
Mhm. Right. Any other questions?
The only other thing that I might add too is that we understand that we're all in different places throughout the US, right? So Annie, for example, you're in California, and let's just say we know, for example, one person that we have on this list is Chirpeak Lee, right? And he's in California. But our team, we may have that initial interaction with him, but physically we can't pick up the donation from him or whatever. And if he's within your area or your reach, we might tap on you to be like, hey, can you plan to meet up with this particular person and pick up the donation item or whatever from them so that they can eliminate the like having to mail that to us and that kind of thing. So just know that we may tap on your shoulders to help carry some of that load so that it's a little bit easier on everyone.
Okay, so if there are no other questions or comments on this process, then I wanted to share our budget. So we believe that, just as an estimate right now, just our estimated budget, we're looking at about $800 for the various sponsorship baskets that will go along. We were thinking, we haven't thought deeply about the details on that because that's one of our next action items for next week. Is to really think through the raffles, the baskets, and what's going to be included in that for the sponsorship. But primarily, like it'll be an ask of like your mentors, for instance, to write a letter or to also do a video to thank certain sponsors. That's something that we will also include with every sponsorship. And then the baskets will be small little items that will either be like t-shirts or whatnot that might be related to the Seeds for Hope organization, and then other like little sweet stuff. So our budget for that is about $800, thinking that, we might get anywhere from like 10 to 20 sponsors. But we'll take a look at that as time goes on. And then we're also thinking about doing a social media boost to make sure that people can see our event page. And so that's something that we're potentially thinking about as well. And maybe someone like Ban Hyung, who is going to be at the event, will also help boost us for free. But something that we'll be thinking out a little bit further as well in terms of marketing. And then the other thing that we wanted to budget for as well is a videographer for the actual event. And so I think right now, like a fair budget of about $1,000 would make sense for the event. And so that's what I would like to request and include for the budget. So about 1,800 for our team.
And I wanted to just add it on there that the numbers that that 750 amount is based off of the goals that we as a team set for ourselves as far as sponsors, like the number of platinum goal that we had, and then also the different tiers. And so this number is not like we threw the number out from thin air. It's based off of the goals that we had projected for ourselves as a team to achieve. So that 750 total is encompassing all the different tiered goals that we had.
Mm-hmm. But but once we grow that list, there could be more, right? But for right now, this is just our estimate for how much it will probably cost if we were able to obtain like 10 sponsors and at the different levels that we were projecting. we would be looking at, I believe, around, I think the numbers we were looking at about almost $10,000 or something like that, for sponsorship. So anyhow, just wanted to share that. And, well, if you have any questions, ask away.
The only other thing too that I might add is that if we do get, when we get to the point of deciding what types of things will go into the raffle baskets for our tier sponsors, that particular $750 amount may go down. So this is just us planning for the what if we can't get that. So.
Yep, we're just estimating at this point. Okay, we'll pass it back to you, Sunita.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next committee. Marcy?
So, sorry. We will create the survey for the feedback of the event. One idea is to maybe create a QR code, put in the middle of the centerpiece, or just have it somewhere. I think QR codes are very easy for people to scan with their phone. Layout of the tables and whatnot, it's been started, so T and I will connect and work with that. We will create the check-in or guest list. So when they come in, we know who is at the event, and we also know where to assign them for their table. And we were not sure which committee we should be connecting with, like who's going to be getting, who has that document of who's paid or who has sponsored, who's going to be at the event. So we were just wondering that information. And we meet again on Monday, March 11th. That's all I have.
Okay. And then for food committee, I think T was not able to be here, and then Zoe left. So I was there, so I can touch base on that. He already shared with us about the food selection. So she's checking in to see with Tuya from Unison to talk about when we could place the order. If you guys are interested in what we're having for dinner, I can review that too as well, but that's all been selected. And then we're still deciding on a final theme for decoration. And yes, Marcy was able to provide us kind of a sketch of the layout. And I'm looking at it now, it looks like approximately 40 tables, so eight chairs per table. I think that we should get that layout drawn out and finalize those tables, because I am seeing different numbers everywhere, and we want to make sure that we are selling the right amount of tickets. I feel like we originally had 45 tables, and then we should finalize that and know where we are going to be sitting and so on. So is there anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think I think that covered most of it already. Yeah.
Okay. And then the budget is, she has written down 3,800 to 4,000 for food and decoration. Any questions on that? And then moving on to entertainment, Lee.
Yeah. I'm here, but so is Amaryllis, and she had the spreadsheet. So maybe I'll let you take care of that first, Amaryllis.
Is Amaryllis here? I thought she said she wasn't going to make it.
Yeah,
Class
she just
is done.
joined us. I see her.
Oh, okay.
I've been here.
Good.
I have to get on my computer then because I'm on my phone, so I can't access. One last second. Let me switch over. Sorry, I thought you guys already went past ours. Let me get over to it. Give me a second. All right. So our team has not presented yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
no. So we'll chị của thứ nào nhé, hay gì của sản sẽ to present no, but thank you. Let me go ahead and share. So our budget, I think we were very like lenient. At the same time, we weren't entirely sure on what our budget we have. I think it all depends on the logistics. Where is the budget? Where can I find it now? Yeah, I can't pull it up. Am I missing the budget or is it under expense? I'm just not seeing it. Did someone change the tab or you could also load?
What do you mean budget? What are you looking for?
I think I just enter. I think Kuchini Shoke I won't because we had discussed in our team. So for our team, when we met and chatted, we kind of just talked a bit about what we have in mind and just trying to get everyone on board and get acquainted. There is talk about hiring a DJ. But again, it comes back down to like, okay, we need to know budget. We kind of need to know the program agenda, and we need to at least have an idea of budget in order to go from there to artist and performer. So just a little bit about what we talked about again. It's just, hey, where's that budget coming from? You know, from the group chat, there is interest of having a DJ, but again, we don't know. So I think if Marcy and someone else, if you know, if you have the DJ in mind, you can send it to us as a group, so that we can reach out to the DJ too. But we do need to know the budget, kind of like the expense of how much is that DJ charging. And then we just talked about donation. Is it going to be donation or reimbursement? But I did hear from earlier on just kind of like how much the budget is expected to be if we can make this event happen. So I'm going to just skip all of that. I'll just share a little bit that we were also thinking instead of maybe just having a DJ for the entire night, the sound system, everything is already in place. If we can create a playlist, and then for the playlist, we have everyone on this committee send a song or two to Lee, and he will be in charge of compiling that list of music. So then we can have Lee can just play that list while like at the beginning. And then if we go the other route of having performers too, but that depends on what you all think as a whole group. Otherwise, Lee is the person to submit music to. I think that way, as our whole team talked about it, that could be a fun way to really connect with those who are there. And also it would show case just a little bit of all of us as a team of how much we're putting into this and the collaboration energy. And then as we talked about it, I think we've come down to the fact that we may need to hear more from the logistics team. And then just be able to connect with them to have an idea of how to go forth with entertainment. But this is kind of our kind of just attentive agenda draft or proposal for the time being. We were thinking that if we did open door at 5, and that would be like a check-in time. So during that check-in time, we can actually have the playlist just playing for that good, either however long, up to 45 minutes of just networking, and everyone is in that space, just getting to know one another, as well as it gives us as a whole planning committee to the board, even from Seed for Hope, to actually get into the space to network with the sponsors and anyone who's there to know more about the mission. We can play that list of music as well and just keep it light. And then if we were to move on to like 6 o'clock, we open doors, then we can actually go from there to right into like dinner where we can have entertainment instead. And as we talked about entertainment, we did discuss having approaching the Hmong the culture center to have some of their boys come perform. And we talked about even the idea of maybe if we can change it up a bit to see what everyone's thought is. Maybe Lee and his center could do a demonstration too, and this will be like during dinner time for this 1 hour of dinner that we can fill it with entertainment. From the group, we've captured that there is discussion or interest to have group performers. So there's one that came up with Shenke line dance, as well as some of the local dance group here in Minnesota. So we welcome any suggestion, but if you guys could make it out to either myself, Lee, or Mary Lee, and then and then but again, as a group, we also talked about how if we have a whole group of dancers, what does the whole team, like going back to as a whole planning committee, or yeah, as us as a larger team, what is everyone's thought on how we're going to compensate them? So let me go on and then I will come right back to the compensation part that we as a team talked about. We also talked that maybe instead of having larger artists perform, why don't we support upcoming artists who are also talented? And then that way we can just compensate them a bit. So artists that we as a whole, our committee or our team talked about is like reaching out to Faith. She already said yes. So just reaching out to upcoming artists or just local artists like Faith, Carl's, Taylor. Taylor is an amazing voice, and Kevin. And then if you guys have anyone else that we could ask, as our team is planning out just this 1 hour of dinner entertainment to entertain folks, we're thinking that maybe a good 5 artists should be good. If we even include like the line dance, or if we get 1 or 2 groups to dance, that would keep people entertained. That'll be entertainment that brings them to it while not taking the attention from our fundraising banquet here, our mission and vision to take the organization out to community, to build some rapport with community for them to continuously support See for Hope. And then going back to compensation, local artists, these upcoming artists, we could at the least compensate them just 100 each. So if we're looking at 5 artists, give them $100 each as compensation. And we already giving away 1 table to compensate them, and they can bring a +1 to attend the entire event, or they can just stay for a bit. That's completely up to them, but proposing that either the marketing team or the logistics team could also help us create a space for these artists to self-promote and do social media shout out to them as well for their donation of time and talent. And then at this space, if they come early enough, they would have the opportunity to also meet with other fans, to do photo ops or like promote any merch they have. I know that only Kevin does, but Taylor is again talented, and so is Carl's, but I don't know if they have anything else. So that's just an idea that we talked about. And then we do want to ask the larger team as well. What does everyone think or feel about us having either, as the program goes down, right, from dinner to back to program, and then we can do donation asks, to closing out with a fashion show. If we should think about if you guys would like and having an after party. So again, all this does depend on the whole logistics of how the agenda looks like for the night. Sorry if someone did already propose and I missed since I came at 8 after uli class tanayo. So kumashaitia. But this is what we talked about in our team, and this is what we agree on, that it would look good, it'd be a good fit. So if we, regarding the fashion show, we talked about having the fashion show either at the beginning as a draw or at the end, so that we keep people until after dinner. They would stay for the program versus they would just stay for this piece of just the artists and the dance and then have dinner. And some of them would dip out because it's already getting closer to like 9 or a little bit past 9 and they would leave. But if we have the fashion show, then they would be more inclined to stay. But again, this is just our proposal. We are open to suggestion and hearing from the whole group and what everyone's thought is. I'm done.
So for the DJ, Mindy had a friend that she talked to that was willing to help us out as a donation. I'm not sure if she mentioned, I will go back and look at her notes, but I'm not sure how long, and maybe it was for 30 minutes. But I can let Mindy know and you can connect to that with that person for donation for DJ. I feel like for entertainment, because so you asked what is our budget? We don't have a budget. I think we estimate it to be 5,000, but we're trying to get a proposal out to the board committee to see if they can approve us some funds to do this banquet. So that's why it's important that we all work together to get this budget proposal done. I recommend that we go with donation first versus, I think that everybody should be compensated for their talent and work too. But because our budget is very low, budget na, I think that we should go with one day. I do not. I'm open to the idea of a fashion show, or any other entertainment that you had mentioned. As long as I guess I question like, what if people and they ask us like, what is the purpose of that? Is it just for purposes only, or how does that align with our goals and our mission? How does a fashion show fit with fundraiser tip, Seeds for Hope? And then also I want us to keep in mind that Ban Hyung will be coming. I want her to be highlighted as through celebrity Oyoto Babe. And so yeah, even though if we have other people coming too, I'm not opposed, we go, but I want us to make sure remember that Banya is coming. I don't know if we want to talk about if we want her to be performing later on after a four-part entertainment piece, or if we want her to be performing while Bena Mall or wherever in the agenda. I do agree that we need to, our subcommittees need to work together to get that figured out. And so which is saka ebe mushinya nan dao dao cái chống từ từ ô từ nó nếu mà xuống đòn bê nhiều chủ bê chủ thể nó là thế to when we have Panya already. Yeah, so having that, is there anybody else that want to share anything?
I have a question regarding the fashion show too. I've coordinated, I mean, probably not a large scale or anything like that for a fashion show, and it does take a lot of work. Not doubting anybody, but I know that there needs to be a logistical coordination in terms of how everything rolls out and what kind of outfits and things like that. And so I wonder, I don't think so much canceling the idea or anything like that, but I'm curious to know what capacity looks like in terms of your guys' team and who, which subcommittee or who ends up leading that, so that it can happen too, especially if that's something we decide to go, just something to think about. But otherwise, I think, a lot of really great ideas, and I agree with Sunita that we are in a budget, and we do have to think a little bit about how that looks like. It might have been probably the unpopular comment that I made during our food and banquet committee is that we have to kind of think about the one and done things, and strategically plan around how those items could be maybe eliminated and like serve a different purpose that actually will bring a greater value for the event and for the people who are attending. So those are some things that I'm kind of thinking about as I kind of listened to what you proposed.
I would have to agree with Ku and Sunita as well too, because looking at the fashion show, I don't know if that would really align to what we're looking for as far as for our mission and vision of what we truly want this banquet to be hosting for. And I think we should definitely go with a donation first. If it comes down to where, let's say the artists, we go with the artists' side and they want some kind of monetary thing back, maybe perhaps we can pay for their hotel stay, but then have them donate their time for us, because then maybe that would be cheaper than giving them, $500 like that. We could just have them stay in a hotel for like less than $100.
And not just that, if we pay one person, we had to pay everybody. So I like that and so we don't want to say 100 for this or that. I think a gift, maybe we need to think of gift, right? For all of our volunteers and performers instead of like money, okay?
Right.
And not just, I want to remind you guys, like Seeds for Hope is all about us coming together, giving back together, creating good together. And so when we ask these people to come, I know that they have a price and we want to value them, but let's see this as an opportunity to give them, to give back. Okay? Let's use it that way, because we're all giving back here. And imagine if you can put on an event where everybody come and we just give. Like you give, I give. We all come here to give. What if they also come to give as well? And it's a collective giving. That's the beauty of what we're trying to model here. So let's also first start with that.
Yeah, and I think that if we go with the artists too, that would help attract more of their followers as well too. That would help our sponsorship team to really sponsor it out there too. Because then that way, when they put on their platform, their social media, saying that, hey, you guys should join me with this amazing banquet that the Seed for Hope is doing this year. I'm going to be helping them over there and sponsoring them over there. So you should definitely join us too. Like that, I think that would definitely help with getting the word out there.
Yes, and I want to tell you all that we plan to put all contributors' logo on a banner to showcase the beauty of collaboration of the community that come together to do this event together, okay? And so as you are sharing with them, share the message of the power of collaboration. And then we're going to feature everyone's logos at the event.
The only other thing that I may just add in there and something to think about too is that when we're asking, I think like Sunita said, our biggest like performer artist is Pena. And so in my mind, that's who we market the most. And I think it's important for us to kind of, again, strategically think about that, because when we ask too many artists too, we want to make them feel like they are still valued and not like lesser than, right? And so does that look okay in terms of how programming happens? And do we have enough time to provide them to make use of their time as well? Because I would hate for us to put on an event and ask an artist or a couple artists to come, and they only come and they maybe like they sing one song, right? And then they feel like, oh my gosh, this was such a waste of my time. I'm here to promote, myself too, but I only was allowed to sing one song. And so kind of something to think about too, so that people do have like a value in it for themselves, and we're not really like shortchanging anybody too. So as you guys are kind of planning that.
And I do want to add, I do want to add that if we do go, you guys do decide to do the like the Shinke line dance, I think T said that she had connection. She used to dance for them. So I also wanted to remind everybody of that.
Yes. Lee, what's your role in this? Are you our sound guy who's going to make sure that all sounds are, flowing the way it's supposed to flow? Are you our DJ? like soft music in the background?
Well, I'm the one who control the playlist, right? Like, so all the song that goes in there, and then if we were gonna go with the fashion show, that was just a suggestion, right? Then I will be kind of helping out a little bit, like with the model, make sure they're on time, where to go, where to do, and stuff like that. Because we didn't know Honey Fashion Show is just something that we just popped out, right? That Pela Thai, and then that's why that's just an idea, right? Just to make it entertaining or whatever. So did I answer your question then?
Oh, sorry. Oh,
did I answer your question then, Annie?
Do we need to provide speakers or anything like that? Because I know some places don't have speakers and you have to provide your own speakers.
I think Unison has everything, right, Marcy?
Yeah,
I mean,
Unison should have everything.
Yeah,
but
you
then
can-
again, like
sorry.
yeah, but then again, like I'll make sure to go and ask them because like you lady says, they should have it. What happened if they don't, right? So I will take care of that.
Okay, wonderful. So I like it, Lee, that you are kind of like the sound guy, making sure everything is there and who to go to if something goes wrong, right? And yes, if you want to create a playlist is like a backup, right? If we don't have a professional DJ doing it, then you're gonna be the one to play that list with soft music. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I would also recommend you to go there if we're gonna go there Friday night or Friday to go set up. Bring your I don't know if you have an iPhone or Android, and plug it in. Make sure that it actually works.
I'm gonna use my iPad.
Okay.
I'm gonna check all that. And then again, like I say, about Panya Xiong, we didn't know if she's coming or no, if she's coming for real, and then how long is her how long she's gonna stay there. Like if she's gonna stay there for 1-2 songs, like 30 minutes, or she's gonna stay throughout the whole night. That's why we came up with all those extra like artists, you know. Is you guys understand what I'm saying? And then also because we all know this is more like to actually is we don't want to spend money, right? Because this is a fundraising. That's so if Panya Xiong come, I'm sure that your penulu Johnny artist now is wow, Panya Xiong is coming. Then maybe they'd be happy to come and perform with her because Panya obviously is a big star. So I'm sure that anybody who's up and coming, they'll be very happy to kind of do the same show with her, right? So like I say, for me, the question is how long she's gonna be there, how long she's gonna commit. So then pick up more approach to any artist, and like what we say about artists is just kind of like mentioning brainstorming ideas, you know? And then we didn't know how much of a budget we have to play with, right? That's why we say about also me maybe bring one of two of my students and do a little bit demonstration of martial or self-defense, you know, because give something like some idea to most people, right?
Yeah. I also like the idea of reaching out to a good I think personally for me, my thought is that this tends to target more of the Vindao, but I also want to include in the Guti in it too. And I think that having the Guti, the boys, I think that would definitely help, you know, with the entertainment if we're going to go with that route to having the line dancing gay to come that line dance and to perform.
I agree. And then also I want to touch base about Banya. So I think she said that she has a flight out early the very next day after this. So she Luchisanya the whole night, but she is dedicating a lot of her time she's willing to dedicate a lot of her time for us that day. So she's open to I guess she's waiting for us to tell her what we want from her. So that would be something for us to talk about. She has a lot of powerful songs. If we want to, you guys, the team wants to review it and shape on what they go that would align with our mission. That would be something that me personally I would like. So yeah, for Panya, that's where we're at with her.
I
think we
think
also
we need
should.
to. Sorry, go ahead.
I also think that we should think about it that this is a banquet dinner too. So I think to really organize it in the way that it will lead for people to be inspired, right? And你英雄还得被more like a lot of like things going on too, but how does that lead people to feel at the end of the night? And so to me, in my mind, like when I think of a banquet dinner, I think of like kind of like opening logistics, keynote speaker, and then like if there's a performance, Pania would come in, sing a couple songs, and then maybe that looks like dinner, and then that looks like entertainment to me, because I think all that like more quieter, more inspirational stuff should happen kind of like at the beginning, so we capture the attention of the people who are attending, and then move into something else. But that's just kind of my thought, and again, it doesn't have to happen that way, but it's just when we think of banquets, that's what I kind of think of.
I think it's important that we talk about logistics, Anita. I think that should be the priority, because then it will give us the skeleton of the time that's going to go into each slot, and that way we will know how much entertainment we need, right? And and then what time, who's going to do what. So why don't we make that the next priority? Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. We can for our next meeting. Or are you thinking that we can do that for our next meeting, because okay, go ahead.
So remember, with the silent auction and the logistic team, they are one team, and they say that their meeting is next Wednesday. And I thought maybe they need to have a meeting about silent auction first, then logistic. But in this case, it seems like we want to focus on fundraising first, and then and then silent auction kind of like come after. So I wonder if we should have the logistic meeting next week with Sue. And Marilyn's also have a suggested logistic here. Marilyn, can you share with Sue to kind of let her know like what your thoughts are, and then when the logistic team meet, they can kind of look at what they want to add and what they don't want. So it seems like maybe next Wednesday that meeting can happen. Sanita, what do you think with Sue?
Yeah, that's good.
Because she's part of the logistic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about that first, because the silent auction itself takes a lot of time as well, okay? Because if we are doing the bidding, I don't even know how we're gonna incorporate that, how much time that's gonna be.
Sorry to chime in. I have an idea that our team kind of talked about, which we went into the auction subcommittee, where we don't need to spend time on silent auction, where people can it can happen while the event's ready. So, yeah. So if they want to go with that, there's an idea for that ready. But I gave it over.
Can you share that with Elizabeth? Because she was gonna do a research on how to run an auction, a silent auction. So can you share the idea with Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna be the person to tell us that we are 6 minutes away from 2 hours of our meeting time. So I'm not sure where we want to end, but I just want to add in about as we're thinking about budgeting, I put it in the Notion notes that we have $5,000 to use towards the banquet. And in a previous conversation, we don't want to spend even close to 10,000. And right now we are already spending $4,100, which is those are the unison fees and stuff like that. So just so you guys have that number, just to tie back to entertainment or baskets or whatever we're doing with our budget. We would like money to come in more than it to go out, and that's where we're sitting at with those numbers.
Yeah, and I think earlier on the food and decoration committee, the budget itself is close to 4,000 already, right? Or is that including food?
Marcy, with your breakdown there, is that including food already, or no? Or you're just
yes, because the food is $3,000, and then Those other, the $600 fee was like security and janitor cleanup or something like that. So that does include the food already, the 3,600. The $500 deposit will be returned. And so we could just safely say we're at $3,600 right now.
But I think if you go up to C's breakdown for budget up on tab, I think she had it down for like
A little
4,100 or something like that more too. So I don't know. I'm sure that caps the decoration budget too. So yeah, I don't know. We should definitely get creative on how we go about that, because like I told Z, we should ask people to volunteer their time and say it's, again, like Annie said, gifting. And if we can ask for them to, donate their time rather than, charges, that's even better. So, yeah, that was one thing that we talked about too. And wearing your own kind of budget and planning, can you eliminate some of those expenses so that we can have a more successful fundraising event as well?
I think we're gonna need to, I guess, with all the information, I need to know, have a better understanding of how all the, different committees are gonna be spending, like be more specific. So I think I will kind of, and for you guys to just kind of list out so that we can visually see where each dollar amount is being spent. So then it can help us eliminate. How does that sound okay for everybody?
Yeah, I think too, like to even do what we did the other day at the food banquets subcommittee, where we literally like Googled where we would potentially purchase, the item, and actually listing out exact dollar into like how much an item we needed and how much it cost per item, so that we kind of really have that like clear breakdown.
There a tab on that Excel spreadsheet for budget yet? I don't see one yet.
There's a summary.
Sorry, say that again, Marcy.
I don't see a tab on the Excel spreadsheet for budget. Would we like to add one there or at a different place?
So for expenses, do you see that? Is that what you're looking for?
Nope, never mind. Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I have it set up so if you put it there, then it'll automatically calculate. Yeah, if you can, I've been kind of hoping that everybody can fill in their numbers, but I do understand that. So yeah, that we're gonna be using, it's kind of hard to tell so everybody should budget, but that's all for the next week before our next meeting, because we will meet not this Wednesday, but but the March 20th is our next meeting. So I think week now, if we can all just kind of get together with our subcommittees and finalize our budget, and I will work on some spreadsheets so that we can complete a paper, and then we can have a better idea the next time we meet. And then I will join with Sue's team, logistics, and we'll kind of talk about that. And then because like does anybody, did I miss anything? But
I just
wanted
wanted
to
to sorry. I don't want it to be the Demi Downer here, but I just want to ask, what happens if we don't have the funds to do this home-time banquet? Do we have a plan B?
No, here is the thing too. At the beginning, if we are going to do this banquet, a lot of times because